We have to go back, Kate. We have to go back!
All right, well, welcome to the Lost Lowdown Volume 2, or I should say Volume 1.2 or something?
2.5.
2.5? That's weird.
Yeah.
Episode 2.5.
We have to do another 0.5 episode so we can get him back.
Get him back. Yeah, we can do another half-ass episode like this one. Okay, that was a joke. No one laughed.
Sorry.
So anyway, this is Claude, and who am I talking with?
Justin.
Okay, so we're your hosts for the...
we won't use our last names.
We won't, because that's called anonymity. Anyway...
And that's what the Internet is for.
Very, very good episode. This episode 220, I believe it was. And but first, let's look at our little list of things we got to talk about. Let's talk about the Lost, the news in the world of Lost. Number one is apparently J.J. Abrams is leaving. Couldn't tell if he was leaving the show or if this article was just referencing the fact that the season's over.
So where was this article from?
Ooh, good question. I'm going to say the internet.
Sorry, I thought you might know.
Safe answer. I just Googled Lost in the news section and whatever came up. It's from some online version of news.
In the future, maybe we'll link some of the stuff
we will. We will.
Right. Well, in the first season, there were some obvious things, the hatch, the raft that we're sort of building.
Yeah. Okay.
This season, I'm not really sure what that would be. Maybe Henry. I don't know.
Yeah. Or Echo. Oh, we gotta talk about the next on Lost thing, man. There's some interesting things going on.
Oh yeah,
there.
but that's for later.
That's for later
because we don't want to spoil anything.
So our second bit of news was this article I read that was questioning if Libby and Alu were axed because of the actresses who play them got the DUIs. And here's some funny quotes from some random people on the net.
Oh dear. Oh, and I want to give credit to Gilgamesh from the episode thread who suggested that the title, Two for the Road, might be a reference to the drunk driving thing.
Ooh, that's interesting. Thank you, Gilgamesh.
Since it's the episode where they both die, it does seem like a lot of coincidence, if that's a coincidence.
Yeah.
This is some technical information here. When you're charged with some crime, it usually takes a few months before you actually get punished or it goes to trial. You have some sort of hearing or whatever. So.
Yeah, but what you don't need a hearing for is to find out that Bad Twin was published this week. That is, of course, the
wow, that was a segue.
I know that is of course the Lost tie-in book that was written by Gary Troop, which, as we all should know, is an anagram for purgatory, which, as we calculated earlier, is a 0.05% chance that you could sort of randomly get that name, giving the 7 letters of purgatory and the 20.
And I'd just like to point out, technically, the probability is 1 over 7 factorial.
It is. That is definitely the probability.
Coming from the
we reduced it given the fact that, of course, having every letter filled by A, or, ABB, not
right.
actually spelling words would reduce.
I mean, they were going to have to, conform to English, rules. The letters weren't going to be arranged in just anyway. But still, that's sort of a lower, bound for the
What's not a lower bound is the fact that apparently, from what I read.
One thing I did want to mention that I didn't notice, obviously, because it wasn't in the episode, is that apparently during one of the commercial breaks they ran a Hanzo Foundation commercial.
Whoa.
And, yeah, and if you go to thehanzofoundation.org, you can actually see what they saw. So, I don't know, this it's under the more than coincidence section.
Uh-oh, I just had a wild thought that's probably inaccurate. What if Jack's dad was the person that Sarah was having an affair with?
Interesting you would have that wild thought. I read that wild thought many times in the episode thread.
It just hit me. I got to say, I'll share credit with, independent innovation, as they call it, but it just hit me out of nowhere. But that would be strange. That would be...
A lot of people were suggesting that's what that was supposed to suggest.
I like to think it's Desmond. I like to think she's having an affair with Desmond.
Yeah, a lot of people said that, too. That's apparently a mystery. I don't know. I barely care about it, but...
Well, I'd just like to say here at the Lost Lowdown, we always stay on track. But speaking of gas prices, no, I'm kidding.
Zing. So one question I have is, how does Henry know that Ana Lucia killed Goodwin, etc.? How would he know that? I don't see how it's possible they were alone.
What if, does this make any sense? Walk with me on this tangent. What if, this makes no sense, but what if, remember the guy Ana Lucia thought was another and she had him locked in the thing?
Yes.
Okay.
That would be Nathan.
What if he was really the another and Goodwin was like an imposter?
My theory. Okay. Next question. This is a short question. Did the others let Michael go?
I think, I think they did. I think it's a little too ridiculous because you know why? The big reason is because anytime Jack says anything, you think the opposite. Yeah, it just reminds me of, when the writers are trying to plant certain things into the audience mind, like when everyone found the pallet of food supplies, Charlie was like, well, maybe the hatch, there was a lockdown at the hatch because they didn't want anyone to see the food. It's like, okay,
now,
come
we
on.
weren't podcasting yet when that shit went down, but let's just say there's a lot of weirdness with that I don't buy at all, and maybe we'll talk about it someday.
Oh, I'm sure it'll come up in about 5 years when they get back to it.
But do you think that description is in any way true?
Oh, the description of the camp people?
Yeah.
I want to believe what he says, because I want to believe we're actually getting information from the show, I want to believe that the stuff people characters saying is actually true.
Yeah.
So we can paint our own picture of what's going on the island. So I'm gonna believe it until I find something else, because he mentions another hatch, and if Michael was concocting this story, just in the guise of getting Walt back or whatever, if he was concocting a story about finding this camp of others, why would he mention that they're guarding a hatch? Why wouldn't he just say? And this would have been more convincing. Just say they had Locke at the camp. Walt.
Now, I'm assuming he's just going to give it to Henry.
I don't buy that. You cannot give unless he says, Henry, I killed these two people and I'm letting you go because, the boss wants you home. Then maybe I could see him trusting Henry. But if I was him, I wouldn't give Henry the gun. Henry could just shoot me and still leave.
Right.
Like that's too big of a risk.
Well, a lot of people are putting a lot of reading a lot into the scene at the very end where he walks in to where Henry's being held. They're saying that there were some significant glances exchanged that suggested that Henry knew what he was doing and he was somehow, I don't know. Anyway, they were suggesting that Henry knew what was going on and that he, wouldn't pose a threat because he's, part of the deal.
Why would he know what's going on? Is he a mind reader?
He really shouldn't, but people were suggesting it,
Well,
I won't take credit for this one.
If any of those people are listening, I think you're wrong, people. Sorry. Well, obviously we got to see how it plays out. We got to see what the real idea behind this whole thing is. But if the whole idea is to trade Locke, I keep saying Locke, trade Walt. But Henry's really his character though. I'm really sort of sick of looking at him and hearing him talk because everything he says is just so dishonest and so like. oh, Locke, I was coming for you.
Right.
And I just, I don't buy that if he's an other, as we have come to know the others, how could he get trapped in Russo's, booby trap? Like, I just don't, I've never bought the fact that he got trapped in there. I think I'm going to contend that he got trapped on purpose.
Right. I mean, I think he did have a mission to go there, but I don't think it's necessarily as he described. And oops, I got caught. That does seem sort of ridiculous for him. But I wouldn't put it past the writers to have that be the case. So
I guess.
My jury's out on that question.
God, I want some more Saeed action. I think he's. Oh man, I think he's going to be the one to get off the island if anybody does.
Yeah, I have to say, he's probably got the best show.
He's probably building a rocket ship and nobody knows.
Yeah, she's dead. Oh, some people are inferring from the fact that I'm turning into a TV reporter. Some say that's all you have to say, and then you can say whatever you want.
Yeah.
They're inferring that maybe Libby didn't die, and so.
Oh, I don't think Libby. Did I? Oh, I didn't mention that. That I wholeheartedly think Libby's still alive. Her whole storyline has yet to even really start. So if they kill her off now, it'd be totally ridiculous. I think she's still alive. I think Annalise is the one who's dead. Just to go back to that purgatory idea that the island is purgatory or whatever. The people have mentioned the fact that since Anna Lucia sort of realized what she did was wrong, and she's sad and she's sorry, all that stuff, that she was sort of able to, sort of leave the island there, by dying or whatever, I don't really buy all the purgatory stuff, but anyway.
So I wanted to read the so-called official description from the TV.com site, just for whatever.
For next week?
For next week's episode, yeah.
Ooh, do I want to hear this? I don't like all these spoilers.
It's not much. It's two. Well, actually, it's one sentence with a semicolon.
Everyone dies. Semicolon. The end.
Ding. All right. Mr. Echo seeks Locke's help in finding a secret location he believes holds the key to the island's mysteries. Jack and the other survivors grapple with the horrific situation in the hatch. So that's all there is. The episode is titled ? And as all the avid Lost fans know, the question mark is the thing that's sitting in the center of the map on the blast door. So it's safe to assume, I think, that the question mark location is this secret location that they're referring to in this description. And
why would Echo? What is he talking about? He's like, there's many special place powers in here, and I mean, what makes him think the island has some sort of place with power in it? Is that just a random hunch?
I assume they're going to explain that.
That would be a folly.
I mean, Locke, I know, that would be a folly, wouldn't it? I think we need to come up with a catchphrase that's better than that to say at the end of every podcast.
Okay, how about, what, we should pick a phrase from the show, I'm going to think of a line from the show that'll fit. Something Sawyer's.
Yeah, we'll brainstorm a bit ourselves, but feel free to, suggest something. So, anyway, for now, I guess we'll just have to say bye.
Yeah, bye works. Okay, do the thing that makes this thing stop.